Alright, so today's video is on changing state of deliveries. And this is a very good concept. I use it a lot in my trading. So we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be going over what it is, how to use it, and some real examples on the chart. So first we got to start with what is change state of delivery. A change in state of delivery is a candle closure above or below a bullish or bearish run. So if you guys didn't watch the market structure video, I recommend going to watch that before you watch this video. But as you see right here, we have a bullish run up, and I like to think of a change in state of delivery as an earlier market structure shift. So instead of waiting for a closure at the swing low, you only wait for a closure below the candlestick's body. So right here's an example. We have a bullish run, and then we close below the candlestick's body, forming our change in state of delivery. The way I like to use change in state of deliveries is different to what the standard textbook definition is, though. And the way I like to use it is a closure above or below a leg, so like this, but only after a liquidity sweep. So the leg that I'm looking for change in state of delivery must have swept liquidity. And that is a huge tip to make sure that your change in state of deliveries work almost all the time. Alright, so how do we actually use change in state of deliveries? Well, there's three things. Number one, you can use them for entries. So you could literally just mark out where the change in state of delivery was and then enter off the re-entry. So for example here, this candle closed below this candle, making our change in state of delivery, and then this candle tapped back into that zone. So that could be a possible entry point for us. It can also be used as just confirmation that the trend has changed. So rather than waiting for a market structure shift down here, you get a change in state of delivery, and that gives you your confirmation. And you can also just use it as extra confluence, enter however you want, but just look out for change in state of deliveries. So now we're going to go over some chart examples to show you how to actually enter off of it. So here's the first example, and this is going to be a bullish example of change in state of delivery. So this is how I would use it. So first thing is we have this draw on liquidity that gets swept. So what was the leg that came down to sweep this liquidity? Well, it started from this bearish candle's body. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a closure above that candlestick's body. Keep in mind, it is not going to be the high. We're only just looking for a closure above the body. Now, as you see, we do get that closure. And now after getting that closure, how can we enter? So it's not quite like a market structure shift where you look for other PD arrays to enter off of, but you can literally just enter off the retest of that change in state of delivery. And then you could target wherever you want. And as you see, that played out perfectly. We actually do get a re-entry for this position twice. Another thing you could do is just stack change state of delivery as an extra confluence and then enter however else you want. So instead of having waited for the change state of delivery or entering off of it, you could have entered off something like the OTE fib tool. So right here, as you see, we tap it to the 0.62, nearly the 0.705. We didn't quite get there, but we also do have this for value gap, which you could have entered off the consequent encroachment of. So you can just use it as kind of more confluence onto your current trade idea and your current entry. So let's go over another example. All right, so here's one not even far away from the previous example. So this one's actually very nice. So what do we get? First, again, we're looking for a sweep. This is a bearish example of change in state of delivery. So boom, we get that sweep. And now we have to look for the leg that took out that liquidity. It would be these two bullish candles, because this bullish run led up to that liquidity being swept. So what do we see here? We get a full candlestick closure below the body. And this is where we can start looking for our entry for shorts. So you could have enter it off of here. As you see, this would have been a very scary trade. You could have entered any other way that you wanted, like OTE. Although we're just going to keep that entry right there because I want to guide you guys through entering off CISDs. So as you see right here, you could have had your target down here. And boom, right there, that presented a 3 RR trade. And then that presented our next opportunity to enter off a change in state of delivery, which is the example we went through right before. So let's find some more examples. All right, now we're on the 1 minute. Here's a pretty good example. So right here, we have a sweep of liquidity. What candle took out liquidity? This one right here. So what are we going to do? We're going to wait for a closure. And as you guys can see, this is something I want to cover because this does happen. So we didn't get a closure, but we did kind of go past the point where we did sweep that liquidity. So rather than looking at this candle now, we want to look at this series of candles because this series of candles reswept these lows. Therefore, that would be our new low. Also, a stop rate, which we will go over in another video. So right here, that would be our new change in state of delivery leg because this leg disrespected the leg that took out liquidity, and that is now considered our bearish leg. So right here, we get a candle closure off of this candle, and now what could we look for? We could look for our entry. So right here, you could have your stop at these lows, and then target wherever you want, whatever draw on liquidity. So right there would have been a good draw. And as you can see, this ended up playing for even this draw up here. We didn't quite reach these draws, but that would have been a good place to take profit, and we got a sniper entry. And again, you could have paired CISD with more confluence, so like OTE or any fair value gaps. So we had a gap right here. And as you can see, we got almost a precise entry off of that gap. So you could have had your entry here instead, had a 25-point stop, offering 11 RR trade. But entering purely off the change in state of delivery would have been a 7 RR trade, which is very solid. So let's go over one more example before wrapping the video up. Alright, so here's a pretty good last example. So right here, what do we notice first? Sweep of sell side liquidity. What was the leg that took out this liquidity? Well, it was this series of down close candles that led up to this liquidity being swept. So we're going to look for a change in state of delivery right here. And remember, we must wait for a full closure above the candlestick's body, not the wick. So this candle wicked over it, so it's invalid. And then this candle closed over it. Now this isn't that strong of a close, so I would wait for maybe another closure, which we get right at this leg. And now is where you can start looking for your entry. So off of this change in state of delivery, I would actually kind of have looked to maybe get a bit of a better entry rather than up here. Because as you guys see, would not have presented the best stop loss placement and take profit right here. You could have maybe entered at this gap instead. This was where I was looking at. Right here. That was a very nice entry, offered 5 RR, about a 224 point move. And that's about it to this lecture, guys. Change in state of deliveries is a pretty simple topic, but it is very effective. And as a quick review and reminder, change in state of delivery is a body closure above or below a leg that led up to liquidity being swept. So right here, this entire bullish move down was what caused this liquidity to get taken out. And then where would we want to look for a change in state of delivery? The first candle of that leg and the first candle's body, to be specific. Not the high, the body. And that's it for this lecture. If you guys have any questions, join the Discord in the bio, and that'll wrap it up for this video.